Good morning, friends. So yesterday I finished Metal Gear Solid 2 on stream for the first time in my life. It's actually not quite true. I did play the Snake part back in the days when I was like, what, 16 or something? I don't even know when it came out. Or what age I was, 20 years ago. So this time I actually got it really and deeply, and this is from my stream yesterday. And this is of course the most profound speech ever to put in any video game, I think, truly. Hideo Kojima really a prophet. Right, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing all the other Metal Gear Solid games as well as Death Stranding, which is apparently also looking 20 or 30 years into the future. So everything in this came true, right? The whole political correctness and that social media is pushing these half-truths and extremes, and people don't really know what they can trust. And I think I've noticed something, maybe you noticed that too, that people are really losing trust in every sort of big corporation, big institution. But I think it goes further than that. So I think what is happening here, and this is great, and this is what I love about games like this, that they make you think about reality a lot. And you're, like we talked about, I think over an hour yesterday on stream, about the ending of the game and what it means. And so I think what will happen is the following. And this might be in like 2030, 2040. I can't tell you the exact date when this will happen, but I think what's going on is we are living in the post-truth age, right? That's what people call it, what we are in right now. You don't know what you can trust. The news is lying to you consistently. Like, it's not just fake news like Trump, it's almost a meme, right? But it's actually just lies. You know it if you actually look at what's going on. And if you look on Twitter, for example, what really is happening in the world, then you see that's all lies, right? But the problem is now with AI, we saw it with Sora 2, I think it's called, the new AI video thingy. You literally can't tell what is real anymore. These videos are so good, they do look like real people with deepfakes, etc. Now you have porn clips of your favorite female actress that looks absolutely real, and that's just crazy, right? So you basically can create a video of Trump, for example, saying something absolutely crazy and post it online, and nobody can verify if it's real. I mean, there's AI that can apparently verify if something was created by AI, but how true is that really, right? Now, I personally, this is not about AI gaining consciousness. I don't think this will ever happen. What I think is, what will happen going forward especially, is that we will lose even more trust in AI and social media in general. And then what's going to happen is that we come back stronger into local communities. I think what is really dying out going forward is big corporations. They will die. We can see this already with gaming. Gaming is always, funnily enough, at the forefront of everything. This is where you see the first things happening, because gaming is a huge art. It's like gaming makes more money than movies and music combined, which is kind of crazy to me. Like, it's a huge multi-billion-dollar industry, right? So it's always at the forefront of sort of the societal theme, or temperature if you want. And we see already that people are rejecting the whole activism kind of stuff in games. That is happening already. But I think you can already tell that people are really, they're done with the slop. What they want is something deep and that is connecting and on an authentic level, right? They want games that are just real. Real is a word I see a lot, actually, not fake. So people will also reject these AI created games 100%, even though Elon Musk is pushing it. I don't think this will happen at all, personally, because people can just tell that they are not real. And what people are craving more than anything these days is authenticity. And I think so here's my prophecy, right? I'm just a guy, right? But this is what I've sort of been seeing and thinking here, is going forward, the news will obviously die, right, as it is. Boomers are still watching it, and that's fine, but millennials, like I'm a millennial, right? We already don't watch news much. Some still do, but not much. But there are some lingering people with that. But every generation after us already is done with the news. They don't trust it and they don't watch it. So they're dying anyway, right? But I think the next step is that social media, to an extent, will also die. I think Facebook is gonna die as soon as because it's only boomers, right? It's only your auntie on Facebook. Nobody else is there. My mother is on Facebook, for example. She's 70, right? Nobody else I know is there. Instagram will die. because it's all fake, and people are really starting to hate all the fakeness. Now, of course, there's still a lot of people watching or checking this out due to their addiction to that, but many people are waking up to it. And Instagram also offers nothing of value other than seeing fake people. So that's kind of weird, right? I also think that X is gonna die for another reason though. X might have the truth on it currently, but the problem with social media these days is what the AI correctly said there is it's full of half-truths and extremes. So what works well in the algorithms is if you make either ambiguous or definite statements that set something as definite, but it's not actually the truth. For example, when they say that Trump is Hitler, that gets pushed by the algorithm a lot, but everyone knows that it's not true. There is way more to it, but if you have a nuanced post or even a lengthy post on Twitter, that just doesn't get pushed by the algorithm because nobody really reads it or likes it because the attention span is already so short. But people are waking up to this, and you see a lot of also YouTube videos that don't have these clickbait titles anymore or thumbnails. It's mostly just their face looking in the camera and the regular title, just something completely normal. And these videos are popping up more and more. And this is, I think, because people are craving authenticity. And what this is going towards is these algorithms that work on extremes, like X, for example, they will die because people just, like, I'm completely fatigued of Twitter. Or X, right? Or any sort of social media. I don't have any social media on my phone intentionally, because when I'm out somewhere, I don't want to stare at my phone the entire time. Except for Telegram. I don't have WhatsApp, but it's the only thing to be able to communicate with people. It's the only social media I have on this phone. I don't even have YouTube installed. Nothing. And of course I do watch YouTube, I watch other creators and all that. But I was also on X, especially with the political stuff that is happening, because it's actually going somewhat in the right direction. But the more I scroll through it, the more I get annoyed, because it's all just noise. And the kernel is correct on this. It's all just noise. But I don't think this is going to happen, that the AI is going to come forth and filter that, because that's literally just censorship, and people really don't want that because they fight hard for their freedom. But of course, it begs the question: how do you filter proper content? And there will be things that they will try over the next 5 years to do this, but I think in general that people will just not care about this. What is going to happen is that people will actually join more, like live streaming, I think, will become an even bigger thing than it already is. I still think that live streaming is still in its children's shoes, so to speak. And even though it's already also 10 years old, I believe, something like that. But it's still very much on a base level. I think it will become even more, because when you are live with someone, or when someone is live and you're watching them, this is the only time where you can truly be secure that this person is live and openly and authentically giving you their thoughts in that very moment. But there is no video editing, there is no cutting out of wrong takes or whatnot. It's just literally you saying exactly how you think it is. This is also why I try to make my videos as unedited as possible. Sometimes I do when there is a break where I've been thinking for like 30 seconds and nobody wants to sit through that, obviously. But if you had these heavily edited videos, right, which is just an edit every 10, no, not even 10 seconds, every 3 seconds or what it is. What does Mr. Beast do, like 7 seconds? I think he also changed that. I'm not a fan of him, by the way, because I think it's absolute slop content, but whatever. Which is also gonna die in the future. Because I think truly that people are gonna move into an area where they want to be local in their own community and live with people, because these are the only ways to actually be sure going forward that it is authentic and real what you receive. Videos can easily be faked, but live streams cannot. And maybe they'll figure out a way to even be fake on live streams. I don't know, maybe. But for now, it is the most authentic thing there is to watch someone live and what they say. Also why Asmongold, for example, is so successful, because he literally reacts live to these things and then gives his thoughts on it. And the same is going to happen with just the news. So you will get your news from your local when you go to your bakery and buy some bread and talk to the guy there, this is where you will get the info from what's currently happening or from other people. I don't think that going forward people will even watch or listen to news at all. Now again, this might be in 10 years even, or 20 years, and before that it's gonna get way worse, right? Way worse. Heavily over-edited videos are happening everywhere. Lots of AI slop is already on YouTube. It's actually annoying. Like these AI narrated videos that just use a passage from some book from 20 years ago, and that's the video. And like, this is absolute pointless slop, right? And this is everywhere. And people are really pissed by it and annoyed by it. And so I think Metal Gear Solid greatly pointed on this here with our kernel, that this is... It's funny because the game itself is sort of a meta revelation of that, because the game is exactly showing you what will happen through the game itself as it is, which is great. And it did happen exactly as is. The game is like 20 years old, right? And he predicted this exactly as it happened, which is crazy. But I think going forward, people will have realized this. And even if you just played the game and it went to your subconscious mind, you quickly realize what was going on. Not even talking about the shadow government, which is obviously real, like the Patriots, right? We know that, we have proof of that. But just how people will interact with social media in the future. And I can only highly recommend it to you that you reduce your social media consumption as much as possible, except for streams, because... And don't just say this because I'm a streamer, right? So please come to my stream. No, it's because I do the same. I have removed most of the textual social media things from my life. I occasionally do check X if there's something crazy going on, but then whenever I scroll through it a little bit, I immediately get annoyed of all the noise that is there. And YouTube, and maybe you notice the same, that the YouTube feed gets increasingly worse. Like, there isn't really things I want to watch at all, which is kind of crazy to me. So yeah, I hope this gets better going forward, but it might actually just get worse. Like it always, like the night is darkest before dawn, right? It has to get a lot worse before it can get better. But I think the future in like 5 to 10 years, and you and me will live through it, hopefully, it's gonna be much better when people actually come back into the local communities, their families, and only do live streams and watch people live, because then they can be sure that everything they hear and see is actually the truth. But yeah, let me know what you think of it, what you think of what the game proposed there, if that is truly a reality, or how you reacted to it. Definitely check out the stream. That was amazing going through this game, and I'm gonna have a lot of shorts and videos about this game because it's amazing. So yeah, let me know what you think of it, and I will see you guys around.